Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time stopping by. Today we're going to be doing a recent deck roundup. This is like a haul of everything that came in or was sent to me for review over the past month or since the last time I made one of these videos. Before we get into that though, let me just remind you, I am also a deck creator and an author. I will throw a graphic up on the screen so that you can see where you get my work. Okay, let's get into this. Oh my goodness, before I dive in, I just have to say I just recorded this entire video, the entire thing, except for I never hit record, which, I mean, like, listen, it's not the first time that that's happened. It's certainly happened to me in the past. It's a little frustrating. It's like a lot frustrating. So these are like my second, third thoughts on everything now, which is such a bummer, but it happens. Here we are. I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to start off by sharing the thing that I'm really excited about. This was actually sent to me by the creator. This is from Shire Post. Shire Post Mint, which is a small business located in West Fork, Arkansas. They are their own coin minting company, and they are just doing something really special. I wish you could have seen me open this all for the first time. Like, one of my coins already fell out. They are creating a full set of tarot coins, and they sent me this really delightful little package with a bunch of goodies in it. I've tried to kind of put it back together, but here we are. So I got a sticker, and I want to do a little bit of a comparing to the Charmcast Tarot, but they packaged this just so lovely. So this is coming to Kickstarter in October, I believe, unless things come off track. They sent me a coin that is from their, it's like their Shire Post coin. So it says, on one side it says Shire Post Mint, shirepost.com. And on the back there is a tree. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it. There we go. That's good enough. There we go. So they sent me that, which was really sweet. They also sent me this little, it was all wax sealed, blood moon coin, which is so cool. So this is made out of copper. So it's 7 grams of copper. It says here it's 1 inch in diameter, so 25.4 millimeters. And the coin press used is the Mario de Mayo 500T, and I guess 50 tons of pressure maybe? So this is actually a moon coin. It says this coin of Earth's only moon features a geographically, technically, selenographically correct 136,794,240 to 1 scale design of the surface texture of both its near and its far side. So it describes how the side of the moon that faces us is considered the light side of the moon, but it's the only side we get to see because of what's called tidal locking. So this is a pure copper replica of the moon. It's so cool. So this is, I believe, the light side that we see. That's what's familiar to me. And then on the background, we have what is considered the dark side of the moon. So this is a 1 inch diameter coin, as is this one. I believe these are the same. So this feels like it's about the size of a Canadian loonie. I don't have one handy to compare, but that is about the size of these coins that they sent me. So that was really cool. I am going to put these into, but just for comparison, actually, to show you the size difference. Here is some coins I've gotten from other tarot projects. So this is my Oak, Ash, and Thorn. This is my, I think this was called Fantastical Creatures coin. And this is from the Simdala Tarot coin by Jennifer Stidley. So you can see the difference in size of these. But this is pure copper, which is so cool. So really high quality coin. I don't know the metals that these ones are made out of. But this project, the tarot project, is really what they reached out to me about. So let me show you this. So they sent me a sort of random 3-card draw from among the coins, the tarot coins that they've already minted. So these are small and they're so cute. But one of the things that jumped out at me about this project, forgive me because I'm trying to remember all the cool things I said the first time I did this video. They, instead of using like the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, which, as we know from like the Charmcast Tarot, which I love this tool. This is really cool. Charmcast Tarot is made of pewter, and these are essentially stick figure Rider-Waite-Smith scenes. So we have familiar scenes, but just stick figure engraved onto the coins. And these have a plain back. So this is meant to be like a casting system. So I'm going to keep one of these out for reference. And then when we get in here, what they've done instead of using the Rider-Waite-Smith is they actually hired a lino cut artist who has been individually lino cut, like designing and lino cutting their designs, which they then used to create their, whatever they need to create to be able to press the coins, to mint the coins, which is so incredibly cool. So these are pure copper. They're just absolutely beautiful. My 3-card reading, when I pulled these out in order, was the moon. Oh, look, I flipped that one over first. Oh, hopefully you can see this. Let's see if I can zoom you in. And so you can see. It's going to go out of focus. Okay, so there's the moon. Hopefully you can see that well. the Ace of Cups, and the Lovers card. So the Moon, the Ace of Cups, and there's the Lovers. So again, these are all pure copper, but for comparison to the charm cast or even to the coin, you can kind of get an idea of their physical size. They also each have a actual back design, which is really cool. So comparatively to the charm cast, if you've seen this one, this will give you an idea of the size. They're lighter than charm cast. They are thinner. You can see, what's the best way to hold that? So you can see, they might be about the same thickness actually. Nope, they're about the same thickness, maybe a hair thinner. But they actually have a back design engraved. They're just absolutely beautiful. These are gorgeous. I believe the Kickstarter pricing is going to be somewhere in the range for a full set of these. It's going to be somewhere in the range of $260 US, I believe. That might be subject to change at the, I got a little sneak peek of the campaign page, but these are just beautiful, and they're lightweight and small enough that they actually feel like they can genuinely be cast pretty easily. The Charm Cast Tarot, like this whole bag of charms for the Charm Cast Tarot is actually quite heavy. I love using these as like a pendant to snap into the little Charm Cast like holder. So this has been great for that, but this actually, these Shire Mint coins feel like they're going to actually function much better as an actual casting tool than I think the Charm Cast Tarot ultimately does. I feel like based on their size and their weight, 78 of these is going to be a lot more manageable if you wanted to even try to cast like a good chunk of them than the Charm Cast Tarot is. But what I was really excited about truly was that they did not just regurgitate an idea that's been done before. They did their own spin on it, and these are just beautiful. So I'm going to put them here. I've got my magnifying glass. I'm going to see if I can light them up and bring the magnifying glass up so you can see them just a little bit better. So hopefully that helps you see the designs just a little bit better. But they are, there's actually quite a bit of detail in these. And they're really pretty. There's a lot going on. Ooh, my light might be too glary. Really, really, really beautiful. Gorgeous craftsmanship. These are really, really lovely. And they are still working on them. They haven't done all of the art, but they've done quite a bit of it. So you can see, like, there's the Justice. There's the Hanging Man. The Death card. Temperance. Look at that. It's moonshine bottles. I mean, that's so cool. The Moon and the Sun. So by working with a lino cut artist, like The World, they really have a cool take on these. Now these at first glance look like they're a little pippish, but I don't think they are. Like the 2 of Wands shows like a shore. It's like land and sea kind of alternating here. But I haven't seen enough of the minors to know that for sure. So they've got some aces here. There's the Ace of Coins. I believe they have the Ace of Swords artwork in here. Yeah, there's the Ace of Swords. So keep an eye out on designs that they might share. But I think actually on this, we can see, that's Ace, Ace. There's the Magician. I thought there was another minor, but maybe not. So they may end up being a little pippish. I don't know yet. I haven't seen enough of the art to know that for sure. But I just think these are really beautifully crafted. And I know that when the Kickstarter launches, you'll be able to get a... you won't have to buy the whole set. You can also just get like a little random 3-card pull yourself, and you can just incorporate those into whatever charm casting set you have. But I thought it was really great that this is like a small business. These are made in the USA at their own mint, and I just thought that was pretty awesome. So this is the Shire Post Mint. Their contact information, I will have them linked down below, of course, but they have shirepost.com, Shire Post Mint on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And I will have a link to their campaign page so that you can follow it if you're curious about the launch of these. But I think these are just really special, and I wanted to share them. As an FYI, they do have some sort of an affiliate thing they were trying to set up, I think, for people sharing their stuff. Just so you know, viewers of my channel, I say no to those. I do not participate in affiliate programs other than Amazon. So currently that is the only one that I do. If you click an Amazon link, I do earn a small commission on my Amazon links, and I appreciate that. It doesn't really cost, not really, it doesn't cost you anything else. Oh, here we go. What's this? Table of contents. Why did they circle this? Maybe there's a change they need to make here. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's happening here. Anyways, I'm just babbling. Anyways, just so you know, I do not participate in, I just like to share independent creators' work. That's basically it. If you're an indie creator, I just want to share your work. I'm not worried about commissions and things like that. But it was really sweet that they offered that. That was very kind. But no, they just sent me these 3 coins to share with you. So that's what I'm doing. And keep an eye on their Kickstarter. I'm actually really excited for this. I think this is super cool. I really, really, really want a whole set. We'll have to see when the Kickstarter comes. I don't know. But I really, really do want a whole set. They are so beautiful. They're so well made. And I just thought what they did was has so much integrity behind it that like they're coming up with new artwork for every single one. I mean, that's they could have gone about this in a much easier way, and they didn't. And I think that's pretty great and deserves to be highlighted. So that is the Shire Post Mint Tarot coming to Kickstarter in October. Maybe by the time you see this, it'll already be launched. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really excited to share it regardless. Okay, other decks that came in, and I'm sorry these are going to be a little bit quicker of a overview than it was the first time I filmed this. I'm still bitter, don't mind me. Is the Flight of the Butterfly Tarot. This is by Kelly Burton. This was a Kickstarter that I backed, and look, it came with a pin and a card stand and some prints and spread cards also. My stuff is all in disarray because I had already gotten all this stuff out. Again, still bitter. This deck is one that I got because I really, really loved the look of the art of the Wisdom of the Sacred Bee. She's also the creator of that deck, both the Tarot and the Oracle that are the Sacred Bee. Inside of the box has a butterfly emerging from its cocoon. This is the Ace of Swords artwork. Ask me how I know. It's because I already recorded this before. I'll shut up about it, I swear. Anyways, the flutter of wings may not shake the earth, but it shifts something sacred within the soul. Now, at first glance, this looks like just a butterfly tarot, which I guess in theory it is. But there is a strong emphasis, there's my certificate of authenticity, there's a strong emphasis on Psyche from Greek mythology throughout this deck. And what you'll find in the guidebook is that every entry, major and minor, has the meaning for the card, but also a bit about Psyche and what about Psyche's story that card represents. So for example, here's the Seven of Wands. Let's just grab that real quick so you can see it. Queen, Knight, Page, 10, 9, 8, 7. Okay. So here's what it says in the guidebook for the Seven of Wands. It says, Psyche stands, other than the meaning, it says, Psyche stands bravely before the wrath of Aphrodite. She continues to struggle under the pressure of Aphrodite's shadow. The 7 represents the defense of her inner light and outward struggle to protect what she has earned. She realizes that she is not here by accident. She learned from the 6 of Wands that she would face more adversity. She is proving that her flame cannot be easily extinguished. So we don't see Psyche visually represented on the card. We have a butterfly, right? But there's this element of Psyche's story to the guidebook entry. And you, of course, also get the standard interpretation. So 7 of Wands, now that you have some experience defending your path, when challenges arise is essential. These challenges may disrupt the status quo, therefore stay vigilant and be aware of your surroundings. The 7 of Wands encourages you to stand your ground and protect your vision. Although you may not see your adversary, you must remain vigilant and prepared to take action at any moment. But what really caught my attention about this at the end of the day is just how vibrant and beautiful, like look at these edges and the backs, how vibrant and beautiful this is. And I'm not squicked out by butterflies like I am by bees sometimes. So I thought this was really pretty. I love the color. I love the vibrancy. I really want to pull this into a magical and badass monthly member reading stream and see how it performs, to like literally just read with it out of the box. Not getting into the Psyche elements, not getting into the guidebook, but just like working with it to see what I think. Like I love this image for the 8 of Wands, or 8 of Swords rather. So I just want to see, does it function? Because it is kind of like artsy and pippish through the minors. Like there's stuff going on, right? But there's still an element of like artsiness. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like a little bit of pippiness, a little bit of artsiness. There is some really interesting color things happening. So let's take a quick look at that. So we have these green shades for our pentacles. We have this kind of like orangey sort of tone through the swords. The cups have this beautiful oceany blue. And then the wands have this vibrant sort of poppy red color, like what we see on the guidebook in the box. And then of course the majors don't have a strong color theme individually, like as a suit. So I'm really excited to kind of play with this and see how it works out. It has nice feeling cardstock. It sounds and feels like it's got that like sort of UV matte coating on it. That kind of like swishy matte. You know, I don't know how else you want to describe that. But I am excited about this. I'm excited to put it through its paces and see how it actually reads. Love the wide ribbon on here. But that is the Flight of the Butterfly Tarot. Again, I backed that on Kickstarter, so that was exciting to get in. And it came with a card stand. So pretty. My next tarot decks that came in are these officially licensed Sanrio decks by Luna Factory. Be very, very careful about purchasing these. If you're interested in the Hello Kitty Tarot, My Melody, or Kuromi, these are all officially Sanrio licensed. Okay, that's important. Number one, they are officially licensed, which is important. And number two, they have been already counterfeited like crazy. So make sure if you are interested in these, pretty please go to Luna Factory's website. I will link down below where I got the official copies. Please purchase it there, or reach out to her and ask Luna if she can point you in the direction of some authorized resellers to make sure you're getting the legit thing. You don't want to counterfeit. It's crap quality. It's super small and stupid looking. It doesn't come with the guidebook. It's cardstock is trash. Like, these are really nice. So let me just give you a quick peek at these. Now, I've been a big Hello Kitty fan like my whole life, basically, but I'm now fonder of My Melody. It's like my loyalty switched like with a quickness when I just saw a contrast in personality. Now, all three of these decks are essentially Rider-Waite-Smith clones, but with Hello Kitty and friends. So the Hello Kitty one is all Hello Kitty and people close to Hello Kitty in her little circle. Little unicorns instead of horses. I think those are her parents. You'll see her little boyfriend, Dear Daniel, show up. I think he's in the tower with her. He's also in the Two of Cups, I think. Oh, no, that's her and a kitty. That's right. Oh, in the Three of Cups, there's Dear Daniel in the back. And I think that might be like a sister. I'm not sure. I can't remember. And there's the backs. Really cute. Ever so slight bowing out of the box, but it feels like a nice indie quality cardstock with a matte laminate. They don't feel floppy. Like they're... Let me just show you what I mean. I'm not going to fully shuffle. Well, maybe I will. Why not? Yeah, they've got a nice snap to them. So they will snap and bridge just fine. Like that. Can I re-separate them? No, so I guess they're just shuffled now. But yeah, that's the vibe. So let me just do a couple more because all the cardstock for all three decks feels exactly the same. The guidebooks are bilingual as well, so they're English and the creator's native language. I'm not sure if that is Chinese. I think it might be. I'm trying to remember where these were made in. They might have been Japan. But yeah, you will find Sanrio's copyright all over this stuff. It's obviously Luna's concepts, Sanrio's license, so... Another important thing, obviously, is that Sanrio is very contentious about their copyright and they do protect it. Yeah, this was made in China, and there's a guidebook. I forgot to show you. The Hello Kitty guidebook has these like full page, upright, reversed, and then the two different languages for the write-ups. It's pretty small font, but it's a Rider-Waite-Smith clone style deck, so I'm not too concerned. This one, I'm probably not going to use in active rotation, although it has some nice rainbow hollow detailing on the box. This is probably just going to be stored for me as like a collector item. I just wanted it. These two I fully plan to use. So if you missed the Portland haul or the Portland video where I wrapped up my time down there visiting Dawn, you'll know the story. But basically we discovered that she's essentially Kuromi and I'm basically My Melody. And then in the process we also kind of figured out that Danny is, well, and I mean, Danny had a say. But she's actually My Sweet Piano, who shows up all through this deck, which made me so happy. So this one, I feel like My Melody has a lot more personality than Hello Kitty, like a lot more. And if you haven't seen the Netflix My Melody and Kuromi, you must watch it. I know it seems silly, but just trust me, it's more than it seems on the surface. And it's all like claymation? What is that called? Is it called claymation? I don't know, but they look really fuzzy and cute and it's adorable. Anyway, she's got so many more like fun facial expressions. But My Sweet Piano shows up all through here. And if you really want to understand the lore, like about why Danny is My Sweet Piano, or why I'm My Melody or Dawn is Kuromi, then you really need to watch the videos. They're so cute. Like there's My Melody and there's My Sweet Piano. Oh my God, she's so cute. There's My Sweet Piano again. There's her friend Flat. These are just, they're the best. It's like I said, it's a Rider-Waite-Smith deck featuring adorable characters. Look, there's My Sweet Piano again. Just like a little lamb, but she's a badass. Just, you have no idea. She's such a badass. Anyway, super stinking cute. There's colored borders, so you can tell the elements apart really easily, which is nice. But yeah, if you're looking for just an adorable Sanrio Rider-Waite-Smith clone, I love this Nine of Cups. It's pretty, classic, like I said, Rider-Waite-Smith cloney. But it's so, like, look! That's My Sweet Piano and My Melody outside in the cold together. Look it. It's so stinking cute. So anyways, I was so delighted to see so much of My Sweet Piano in here because they don't have, Luna Factory has Hello Kitty, My Melody, Kuromi, Cinnamoroll, and Little Twin Stars decks, but no My Sweet Piano deck, unfortunately. So seeing so much of My Sweet Piano in this one made me really happy. This one has even smaller write-ups, if you can imagine, because there's 2 cards per page. But again, I don't think I'm really going to be using the guidebook in this case. It's a Rider-Waite-Smith, right? But then the Kuromi deck, this is such a Dawn thing. She's so cute. Again, these are These are officially licensed. That's what the backings look like of the Kuromi one. So same idea, only it's Kuromi and her buddies and her characters. Look at the, like, look at her face. Oh my God, she's so stinking cute. Like, look at her little butt with her little devil tail. It's amazing. She's got, I think of all the characters, I think Kuromi has the most, like, she definitely has the most sass, but she clearly has just so much personality. She's the stinking cutest. Oh, I hate that you didn't get to see me squeal over this the first time, but like I was squealing. My voice is hashed. I can't believe I'm recording this video a second time, but here we go. I said I would shut up about it. I'm not shutting up about it. I'm sorry. I'm a liar. Anyway, got those in. And that brings us to books, because I didn't actually get a lot of tarot in last month. So first off, I have 54 Devils. This is a indie published book all about fortune telling with playing cards. So it is a specific method for divination with playing cards that I think serves essentially as a playing card divination guidebook, which is, I think, really great. It is not, I don't think, I mean, I'd have to ask her, but I don't think this is an exact dupe for how Danny reads cards, because she has like sort of a family, like she learned how to read cards from family and from, you know, people in her neighborhood growing up and stuff like that. So hers is more like, I think, unique, but I think there's definitely a little bit more correlation between this method and what I've usually seen out there. This feels a little bit closer to more of a classic, I guess, playing card divination than often what I see. And this is the revised 10th anniversary edition. This is the newest version of this system. Now I ended up picking this up partly because just out of curiosity, but partly because there's Corey Thomas Hutchison also put out a solo role-playing game that relies on this system actually, and gives you sort of a summary of the system in the book for the solo RPG. But I wanted to have the actual full book because, of course, it's adjacent to my interests anyways. And there's a lot of expanded content in this newer edition. So I believe there's a whole like extra like 100 or some odd pages or something. Like it's almost double the length. And there's rituals in here. There's all kinds of bonus content in this particular version. So again, self-published, but if you want the newest edition of this book, look for the revised 10th. I haven't read this yet, but I will definitely keep you posted. And with regard to the solo RPG video, y'all, I am still working on it. Just so you know, I would like to make that video and kind of round up once I've finished my playthrough of Corico, and I'm near the end. So when I finish that, then I will gather all my solo RPG like resources and I'll do a video for you all. So it is still coming. I'm sorry I'm taking so long, but stay tuned because I'm still planning on it. It just may be a little bit before I can actually be at a point where I can sit down and record it. But 54 Devils, pulled this in. And then 2 fiction books this month. Onyx and Storm. So I raved about Fourth Wing in my monthly review, which I put up recently. So you can go check that out if you want to hear all my thoughts on how Fourth Wing has completely stolen my heart. This is book 3 in the series. At the time I'm filming this video, I'm halfway through book 2 in the series. So oh my gosh, I'm so excited to read this. And I actually snagged this copy with pretty edges on Book Outlet at a discount, which is very exciting. So I think it has one small mark right there, but I don't know if that's just a printing error. It's hard to say. It almost looks like a heart from my angle. But anyways, so now that I have a copy of book 3 with the pretty edges, I'm probably going to want books 1 and 2 with pretty edges. So I may be repurchasing those with pretty edges because they should match, right? Anyways, so I might be doing that. But I got this one in so that I can jump right into it as soon as I finish book 2. And then apparently I'm just going to be real mad because the end of this is not the end of the series. The series is, I believe, meant to be 5 books. I don't like starting series when they're not all out. So I'm preparing myself to be kind of cranky when I get to the end of this book. But thankfully, I have something to make me feel better because I also got in my copy of Sen Lin Yu's Alchemized. Oh my gosh. I pre-ordered a signed copy like back in April. Look, there's her signature. It's so exciting. This is also beautiful underneath the dust jacket. Look, dragons. It's a thing. Really beautiful. And the inside of the cover is like a hedge maze map, which is awesome. What do I say about this book? Oh my gosh. I think I just raved and raved when I first recorded this, or thought I was recording. Okay, so Alchemized began its life as a Draco Hermione, otherwise known as Dramione, fan fiction, very dark fantasy fan fiction, epic story, crazy long, like really long. And I read it and it blew me away. Like it blew me away. So it is very dark. Again, very dark. Cannot underscore that enough. It's basically post-apocalyptic. Manacled was, the setting was essentially the world of Harry Potter after Voldemort basically won the war. So the bad guys have won. There's a heavy Handmaid's Tale kind of vibe to this story. It's like, it's a lot. It is a lot. If you go into it, know that it's a lot. Very dark themes. If you are the type of person that like can get triggered by books, make sure you look up content warnings before you dive into this. But anyways, it began its life as a fan fiction, a Hermione fan fiction that was just such an epic story. And I absolutely devoured it. It like wrecked me, but in such a good way. So I read Manacled, and then as soon as I finished reading it, I immediately began rereading it. It's one of those stories where you get to the end and you're like, oh my gosh, and everything falls into place, and then you want to see it all fall into place. So I read it immediately again, and that was an incredible experience. I've now read it like 3 times, pretty much back to back. Loved it. Anyways, I found out that it was being remarketed, no longer fan fiction, put into like a different world, like a not Harry Potter world. And it has been already wildly successful. So this just came out. The first print run of these copies of the book, not the signed ones, but just all of the first print run was like over 750,000 copies, which is incredible for a traditionally published book. That is insane. That is insane. And I just found out that this is being turned into, it's been purchased. There's movie rights now, movie/TV. I don't know how that's going to work. I think it's going to be either a movie series, or a TV series, but like 7-figure deal with this author to turn this into, like I said, either a movie or a TV series. So I am so stoked because this was such an incredible, gut-wrenching, powerful story. I'm curious to see what they do with it in like film format or like that kind of format. But anyway, incredible. Let me just read you the inner flaps. You kind of know what the gist is. So up here it says, in this riveting dark fantasy debut, a woman with missing memories fights to survive a war-torn world of necromancy and alchemy, and the man tasked with unearthing the deepest secrets of her past. So here it says, once a promising alchemist, Helena Marino is now a prisoner of war and of her own mind. Her resistance friends and allies have been brutally murdered, her abilities suppressed, and the world she knew destroyed. In the aftermath of a long war, Palladia's new ruling class of corrupt guild families and depraved necromancers, whose vile undead creatures helped bring about their victory, holds Helena captive. According to Resistance records, she was a healer of little importance within their ranks, but Helena has inexplicable memory loss of the months leading up to her capture, making her enemies wonder, is she truly as insignificant as she appears, or are her lost memories hiding some vital piece of the Resistance's final gambit? To uncover the memories buried deep within her mind, Helena is sent to the High Reeve, one of the most powerful and ruthless necromancers in this new world. Trapped on his crumbling estate, Helena's fight to protect her lost history and to preserve the last remaining shreds of her former self is just beginning. For her prison and captor have secrets of their own, secrets Helena must unearth, whatever the cost. Oof. So there is instead of it being set in like the magical like Harry Potter world, it's obviously set in a world where alchemy and necromancy are the primary forms of magic. So that will be really, really interesting to see how the story translates. And like, I'm really excited to read this. So I think my goal is to jump into this after I finish Onyx Storm, because I'm just gonna have to get back into this world and see how it's changed. And I can't wait. This book is very heavy. It's also like over 1,000 pages. So just be aware, it's bigger than it looks. It's more dense than it looks. It's a very, very long, epic story with a lot of development, character changes, twists and turns, and heart-wrenching everything. But, oh, it will change you, I think. But anyways, again, dark themes, research content warnings before you dive in, and that's all I'll say about that. But I'm very excited about it. The last thing I have to share is my no pressure book journal. Not going to go down the whole rundown, but I'll tell you the title is A No Guilt, No Shame, No Stress Journal to Help You Read Better and Enjoy Books Again by Mallory O'Meara and Bria Grant, who are from the Reading Glasses podcast. So Dawn Michelle was showing on her channel a reading journal that just looked a lot more involved. Like it was a lot more in depth with a lot of different types of exercises you could fill in and stuff like that. This is really nice, by the way. It's hardcover, it has a ribbon bookmark, and I added the pen loop in the back. I stuck that on so that I could add one of my fountain pens, which I inked up with J. Herb and Lee Detay because a brown ink in a reading journal just seemed like the right choice. So this has you go through and identify a few things about your reading tastes and styles, like the things that you like, your wheelhouse, the types of books you like to read, the things you don't like to read. So there's some like your reader doghouse, gives you permission to DNF a book, reading doorways, which are the sort of the things that like draw you into a book. that maybe you learn because of books you really, really love, and like there's something about them that just really draws you in. And then when you get to the actual logging your favorite genres, there's a place to log your TBR. There are 43 TBR place like spots. My TBR might be longer than 43, but I do want to fill this out and not spit on my own book, but there we go. Anyways, and then in the logging portion, basically you have 1 page per book, and there's a spot for title, author, wheelhouse, which is sort of like whatever, like what way does this fit into your, I don't know, reading, like how is this your reading wheelhouse? Like how does it fit in? And there's an exercise in here that walks you through that, like identifying that for yourself. Doorway, like what is the thing that you liked about this that can be a doorway into another book you might like? And then thoughts, quotes. So this is kind of where you write out any of your thoughts. I also added what month and year I read the book. There's a section for content warnings, which I'm not really using except in fiction. I'm using it sometimes. I'll show you. And then you rate the book. And I added a section down here in this little corner where I write what format I have the book in. So paperback, hardback, or like what format I read it in. Paperback, hardback, or Kindle. And then my rating system, after filling out a bunch of these entries, I came back to the beginning of this section and jotted down the rating system I ended up kind of landing on, which is essentially 0 to 1 star is a fail, 2 stars is meh, 3 stars is a pass. So it's like a C grade. Like it's fine. Like I enjoyed it. I did not enjoy it, but it's like it didn't stand out. 3.5 to 4 stars is good. 4.5 is great. So I really, really enjoyed it, but I'm not quite ready to call it a favorite. And 5 stars is a favorite. So that was kind of a useful rating system. And then I've really enjoyed putting in quotes and then just jotting down my own thoughts about the book. And like I said, when I read it, what my reading is. Oh, also I added this little diagonal section up here if it's part of a series. So this was Tomes and Tea series book 2. This one was Oak and Holly cycle book 2. So same thing here with Fourth Wing. This is the Empyrean book 1. I'm currently on the Empyrean book 2, so I've started my page for that. Here I started a page. I haven't filled in my thoughts and quotes for this yet, but this is for Tusk Love, which I read in September. Anyway, there's a ton of these single page entries. So I counted, and I think there's like 140-ish spots for reviews, so it should take me a long time to fill out this book journal. That, my friends, is everything that came in since the last time I made one of these roundup or haul videos. So thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for bearing with me as I complained about having to do this more than once. I hope this was helpful. It was probably much less rambly because I had already kind of like sort of solidified some of my thoughts, but thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you so much. As always, an extra big thank you goes out to my Unicorn Fam channel members. Thank you so much for supporting what I do here. It really, really means a lot. And to everyone watching, do be sure and do all the YouTube-y things. They really, really help. So click the like button. You can now hype videos. I have no idea. I think it boosts you in the algorithm or something. I don't know. Maybe give it a try. See what that does if you enjoyed this. And comment down below all the good stuff. And I cannot wait to be back for another video. In the meantime, thank you so much. And may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!